And here to decipher it all, former FBI supervisor and Special Agent Manny Gomez and former Vice President Dick Cheney's National Security Advisor John Hanna. Welcome to both of you, starting with Manny Gomez. Beginning here with the family and the mother herself. I mean, how can authorities not question her at this point as to just exactly what she knew and whether she may have been part of this radicalization process as well? Can you really live in the same house with someone and not know that they're building bombs? Very unlikely. Obviously, the FBI, the ATF, other authorities are combing through the evidence, but she's got a big bullseye on her person because clearly she knew what was going on. You cannot live in the same household, visit them constantly to take care of the child as she was doing, and not see something suspicious or know something or perhaps even be part of it. The fact that she had some sort of potential evidence in her own vehicle is very telling. Well, the potential evidence in her own vehicle, the GoPro camera. There have been interesting reports out there, John Hanna, that suggest ISIS has actually used the GoPro vehicles to film some of their suicide bombings and other type of events, that they can then use that as propaganda material online. What is your analysis, initial response to the idea that she had a GoPro camera in the car? A box, I should point out.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's highly suspicious. Where did that camera go? I mean, this is the ISIS. This is the terrorist, the MO. They put online every single day thousands and thousands of videos of operations that they're conducting, of things they want to conduct, of messages they want to get out. Filming is integral to what this organization has been able to do to get its message out to the rest of the world and draw recruits to the caliphate. So the idea that these terrorists would have had this GoPro, it obviously leads you to the suspicion that they were planning to film some of these operations they wanted to conduct. Question in my mind is, after that shooting in San Bernadino, we've got at least some period of time in which they weren't caught, they were on the loose, and could they have done something with the camera then? John, do you think that the mother's involved? I agree with Manny that this is really, really suspicious. And if you look at an interview that the father gave to La Stampa, the Italian newspaper, over the weekend, he says, I know my son was a supporter of the caliphate of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, and that he had absolute obsession with the destruction of Israel. So to know that he knew that, it's impossible to believe that the mother living with him and the wife didn't know that, and then to put on top of that thousands of rounds of ammunition, at least 19 pipe bombs. It's very difficult to imagine she didn't think something was up here. You know, and Manny, we should also point out that we have learned this is a man who was radicalized before meeting his radicalized wife. There had been some reports initially saying that this effectively was a honey trap and that she convinced him to do it all. I've kind of said throughout this process that, you know, you really can't be convinced into anything, no matter how much you love someone. The reality is his head was already there, but we're now learning his head was there even before he met her. They both were disciples of ISIS before even meeting online, which I guess just gets back to the darn visa program. How is it that this woman came into this country in the first place? Well, that's what they're trying to find out, because they should have known. We had a huge program that we look at people's emails, text messages, phone calls, trigger keywords. Certainly something like jihad or martyrdom, etc., should have triggered something that would have alerted the authorities before she was admitted into the country. Last question over to John for a minute. What about the other family members? You mentioned the father. There have been different reports on the father. He's now on the terror watch list as well. And there are concerns, of course, about the sisters. Do you think that more people are involved with this entire event, more than meets the eye at this point, John? I do. It's pure speculation, but given what we've seen here, years and years of radicalization, it's hard for me to believe that they haven't been talking to other people, that there haven't been other red lights going up that we just didn't see. I mean, one of the things we have is this very strange and suspicious financial activity, bank deposits being made. So I think that there's still a lot of threads here that we have to unravel.
Indeed. Well, we're going to cover some more of them coming up, including what happens to this baby of theirs. There's a custody battle going on. The mother of the terrorist would like to see the baby being placed, if not with them, with a sister, with a Muslim family. We're on that for you. John, Manny, thank you very much. Stay with me, Manny, because we've got more breaking news we want to get to at this hour. Protesters